everybody. Happy Thursday. Welcome back after the holiday. I hope you guys, everyone obviously in the States, I hope you had a good 4th of July. And yeah, so welcome back. We're going to jump in here in just a minute. I'm just waiting to see if anyone's going to jump on for today's. I'm going to drop in our meeting invite. Let me drop the invite into the chat. There we go. I dropped in the invite. If you want to jump on live and chat with me face to face, that would be the link to do so. Today, we are talking all about basic SEO strategies and what is essential for creating a good, best-in-class SEO strategy to get you started. For any of those who don't know me, any newbies who might be here, my name is Megan Donnelly, and I am a 7-figure brand strategy, automation strategy. I don't know what the right word is. Strategist. I've been building 7-figure funnels and automation tech stacks for million and billion dollar corporations for a very long time. And now I have started this community to help all of you business owners and entrepreneurs who are in that 5 to 6 figure mark and are feeling a little stuck and you want to push past the multi 6-figure into the 7-figure zone. So welcome for anybody who doesn't know me. And for those of you who do, welcome back. Today, like I said, we're going to talk about all things like basic SEO. So everyone knows, well, I shouldn't say everyone, most people know SEO stands for, if you're in the digital industry, you're going to know that SEO stands for search engine optimization. I'm going to say it again, search engine optimization. So Google, Bing, Yahoo, like any of the search engines that are out there, obviously Google is the big one. This is how, when you have a website or other content, a blog, that you get ranked, okay? So what a lot of people miss, or SEO is not super overly complicated. You can find a lot about it online, you can Google it, you can figure out the basics, but it's very time consuming. So people get lazy when they create their websites and their blogs up front. They get lazy, so they don't do a lot of the things that they need to do out of the gate. And going back to add in some of these tricks and tips and strategies that we're going to talk about today, it's a lot harder to do after the fact. So if you can do them up front, then that is better. So my top 4 strategy tips for just like the basics of SEO, keywords, rich keywords, optimizing your structure of your page elements, optimizing your site for mobile devices, and then monitoring and analyzing. Like we always talk about that. That's always going to be on my tip list for everything that we talk about when it comes to brand experience or technology. Optimize and then review, right? If you're like, what do I always say? I wish somebody was here right now to say it for me, but if you can't track it and measure it, then you shouldn't be doing it. Same goes with SEO. And that is a common theme throughout all of the stuff that we talk about. So, okay, so we're going to start at the top. Number 1, keywords. I think it was probably about a month ago, maybe 2, we did an entire go live on searching for keywords for your target audience. So by now, I'm hoping you've been with us long enough that you have an idea who you're talking to, right? Like you know who your target audience is. Well, that's fantastic. But now you need to take that a step farther and you need to learn about what they're reading, what they're talking about, what other websites are they looking at. And so we have a few tools that we use to do that. And one of them is called Answer the Public. And that was the tool that we went live about. And I showed you how to, basically you ask this program a question and it spits back all of the answers that about that question, and then gives you all of these things that you can use to create content from. to basically answer the public, answer the questions. Answer the Public is the largest like search database that goes off of Google and other search engines. So it's really fantastic tool. I suggest you check it out. So when you are creating content, whether it's for a blog or just a general website or a landing page, basically anything that's going to get crawled by a search engine, even if you're using like, so we use a program called Substack for our newsletter, excuse me, and that program or that software gets crawled by Google. So as we're creating content and as my content team is putting together newsletters, they're thinking about, okay, well, if we're talking about marketing automation, the big part of marketing automation is emails, and or that so they're thinking about the keywords or the things that people are interested in or searching for around that topic. So for this one, we did, let's see, actually, let me back up. We talked about SEO strategy, we talked about SEO tips, we talked about search engine optimization. So we used the keywords around SEO to make this. So when this newsletter goes out, and actually we're a little behind because of I apologize, you should have received this newsletter this morning and we just got a little behind. So this is going to go out on Tuesday. You'll see what I'm talking about when I talk about rich keywords. So SEO and search engine and SEO and all of the things that go with SEO are used all over, like within this newsletter. So the same thing goes for all of your landing pages and content. So anytime you think of a topic, you need to think about the keywords that people are using to search for that content. That's a big one. People don't do SEO research. They don't do keyword research, and you really should. So if you haven't checked out Answer the Public Go Live, you should look at that. The other one, I have another tool that's really cool that I like to use for audience research, and I'll drop that in the link as well. And now I'm just kind of looking for it. Thought I had the link ready available for me, but I don't. Bear with me. It's called. I'm just gonna give me like 1 second since we're live. I'm gonna actually find it so that I drop it in, and I'm gonna also drop in the link for the Answer the Public Go Live, so you can see how we use Answer the Public to like do keyword research and SEO research and stuff like that. So let me grab that. I'm gonna look up. Okay, here we go. Answer the Public. I think no, it is not there. All right, so let me go into media. All right, well, I will come back, I promise, and post it right down here. So please just look. It's going to give me a sec. I apologize. The video should have been right there, and now I am not seeing where it is. So I will post a link to the Answer the Public video Go Live so that you can jump online and get a step-by-step tutorial of how to go through that. And I will post the link for the other. It's a Shield tool, and it's basically a tool that's used for researching audiences. So like on LinkedIn or Twitter, or even like it's just a general audience, like you put in what your audience is searching for, and it spits back like a whole bunch of content. It's going to tell you what websites they're looking at, what other content creators they're looking at, and it just basically gives you like, this is your audience, here's all of the stuff that they're looking at. So this is all the stuff that you should be writing content around. Therefore, writing SEO rich content around, right? Okay, so that's number one, making sure that you're really focusing or understanding what keywords like people are searching for and looking for. Number two is optimizing structure and on-page elements. So Google crawls top down. When it comes to a website or a landing page or really anything that is crawling, it's crawling top down. And what that means is when you hear people talk about H1, H2, H3, H4, there's a reason for that. Heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, heading 4. The H1 tag should be the very topmost thing on your page, should be an H1 tag. Every page of your website absolutely 100% needs to have an H1 tag. No matter what, if you can do anything right today, make sure that is possible. So, and how you do that is depending on what kind of like software program you're using or how you're building your websites, you basically need to wrap the header of your page, or like that big bold header that's at the top of your page, in a little code that's H1. So you're going to get a bracket. It's going to look like this, the bracket. And actually, you know what? We are going to just do a little white pad, I think. So bear with me 1 second. I am going to create a white pad. Yeah, I don't know what this is. We're going to get rid of that. Okay, so hopefully you guys can see my screen. So what you're going to do when the code for a bracket, let me get rid of, that is my Grammarly. We're going to put that. This is your H1 header. Okay, so I'm going to show you a few geeky tips. Okay, so this is what behind the scenes the code of an H1 header looks like. And that is a horrible font for you to read. There we go. So like an H2, if you can imagine, would be and then so on and so forth, right? So H3, H4. Now, as they go down in number, or as they go up in numbers, they go down in sizes. So like your H1 tag is your largest. Your, oops, I guess I can't do that. I have to be separate. Okay. All right, so, man, bear with me. All right, so there, we're going to try this a little different because I want to actually show you in the visual. All right, there we go. H2 will be like this size. I'm just trying to give you kind of like a visual representation of what this is going to look like. And then this would be an H3. So as you can see, as it goes up, up in numbers, it goes down in size. So the H1 is your largest, the H2 is, and it's the same way as formatting writing, like when you think about writing a college essay, right? Like you have different sections, your main title is going to be your H1, the different sections are going to be H2s. If you have something like inside the section that needs to be bolded and an actual like header, that's going to be an H3. So think of it that way. Okay. So this is really what the code looks like behind the scenes. You're going to get an H1 that gets wrapped in a tag. It's as simple as that. So Google is crawling and looking for these. Now, when like I said, Google crawls top down, it searches for the H1 first. So when you're thinking about the SEO rich keywords, that is why it's so important to have keywords in your title. Like whatever the main most searched word things about your topic that you are talking about, that needs to go in your title at the top of the page, wrapped in an H1 tag, because that is the most important thing on the page. Okay. The next few things that we're talking about for optimization and structure of page elements, title tags, which is what we just talked about, the meta description. So every page, and we're going to get a little geeky here. I'm going to get a little geeky and show you something cool. There we go. I'm just jumping right into Google right now, and I'm going to share this with you. So let's go to the Digital Unicorns website. And here, I will show you right now what Google is crawling. Okay. Let's actually do well, that's weird. Give me 1 second. I don't know why it's not letting me. Really? Okay, fine, be that way. All right. So I'm just showing you side by side right now because for some reason it's not letting me. Okay, bear with me, guys. I don't know why this is not showing. What in the world? So Google just did like an update on Chrome and they've moved all their stuff. And I'm basically trying to find the page source. Holler if you see it. Oh my goodness. History, no. Okay. Interesting. That's not what I want. Well, all right. So when you go like this and you do like an inspect, it's going to show you basically all of the code that goes with this website, with this web page. And I'm just going to show you. There's an easier way to see it, but for right now, I'm going to show you just quickly. We're going to jump in. Okay. So all of this gobbledygook right here, all of the code behind the scenes, there's your title, the digital unicorns, and these are all the meta tags and metadata that I'm talking about. So if you look here, you get the title, the digital unicorns, you've got the description, the digital unicorns is a community for ADHD entrepreneurs and business owners to level up their technology skills. And I'm the author. And so these are all like the meta tags that come in that Google crawls. So like when you search for, let's do a search for the digital unicorns. When you search for it, here's my site right here. The digital unicorns, and it shows you this title tag and this description. So that's exactly what that metadata will do. So the metadata controls what is being seen by the search engines. So that is also important. So if you're making a checklist, I suggest you start with your H1 tag, and then you're going to worry about your meta tags. Okay, so that's number 2. Now, then we're worrying about your URLs, and they're called canonical URLs, which is, I know, is a big disgusting word, but I'm going to show you. Let's go back here. So like if you go and it says thedigitalunicorns.com/newsletter, that is a canonical URL. That is a fantastic URL because it is short, simple, to the point. It doesn't have a lot of trailing garbage behind it. So when you do URLs and you think about the structure of your website, you want your URLs to be as simple as possible, as clean and straightforward as possible. You don't want to have a lot of like, for example, Shopify. Shopify is a really bad example of this. Sometimes if it can get really, 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 really long. People think that the longer the URL, the more information they put in it, that it's better. No, not really. It's not always necessarily the truth. Yes, it is good to have SEO keywords in like blog titles. So for instance, if we go back to my newsletter and we'll show you this. When you're doing blog content, yes, it's absolutely important. Apparently that link doesn't work, so I have to fix that. It's absolutely important to have the URL contain the information for the blog. So like if you look right here, the digital unicorns, and then it's burnt out, right? So like let's go back to this one. Cut your video reel creation time in half, right? So your title of your blog post should be the URL, because this, are you making these email marketing? I'm not sure why it's cutting off my URLs. I'll have to figure that out. Let's see. And you learn something new every day. This title right here, are you making these email marketing mistakes, should be the title that's right here, because that's what people, that's what it should be crawling, because that's what you want people to learn from that blog post. Okay, so canonical URLs are super important as well. So let's go back to a checklist. As we're creating a checklist. So from number 2, optimizing your page structure, you want to focus on your headers, like your H1 tags, H2, H3, H4, the header tags. You want to focus on your meta information, which is the title tag and description tag, which is what Google and our search engines are going to see in the search results. And then you want to focus on your URLs and make sure that they're simple, they're not super fancy, they're not over the top, they're very straightforward language. And if you do have a blog, or you're looking for like blog related content or content that should be searchable from the search engines, you want those keywords in your title and in your URL. Okay. All right. So number 3, where did that go? Oh. Number 3 is optimizing your site for mobile. Okay, so Google has released their algorithm update for the year, and it actually released last year. So they are focused more on usability than, I shouldn't say more, but they're a big part of how they rank. You rank in the search engines now is also usability and optimization for mobile, because 60% of website searches are done on a mobile device. You need to be mobile friendly. Google will ding you if you are not. So if your website is not optimized for a mobile device and does not work on a mobile device, or is a really bad experience, you will get ranked lower. Even if you have the best SEO rich content in the world and it's all great content, you're going to get ranked lower behind the people that don't do a great job with content. And it's because they're focusing on brand experience and user experience for the search, for the user. That is a huge thing that they're focused on, and their algorithm is not focused on. So that is number 3. Make sure you are mobile friendly. Make sure you're designing for mobile first. Okay, so mobile first. Obviously, content is a big deal, and all of the stuff we talked about with SEO rich keywords and all of that stuff, yes, that needs to happen. But if your site isn't optimized for mobile, you will get dinged big time, and they will drop you down. And last but not least is monitoring and analyzing your website performance. So, or blog, or whatever you're going to use these basic tips for. SEO changes on such a regular basis. Okay, Google crawls all the time. It's always crawling. It's always so. Monitoring your content performance with Google Analytics and or another content tool, super important. And you should drop me a link if you guys are interested in wanting me to do like a step-by-step through that, so I can teach you how to monitor it. I can show you how to do that. It's super, it's not hard. It's definitely time consuming, but not only are you going to want to monitor and analyze your website's performance and content performance, you're then going to want to make regular updates to that content. Like I would suggest your top performing content every 3 to 6 months, but you should go back through and touch all of your content and refresh it every like 60 to 90 days. And it doesn't mean you need to completely rewrite the article, completely rewrite the page, it means you need to just tweak words, and you need to kind of tweak it from the top down, so that what that does is it triggers the index of Google to recrawl. So if you create a page, just an evergreen page, and it's just out there, right? It sits out there, and you never touch it again. Is it going to get ranked? Sure. Is it always going to stay at the top? Not necessarily, because if people come in, unless you're like a huge site with lots and lots of content, right? Like, the only way for some of the littler guys to compete with their blogs and stuff like that is to refresh that content. Even if it's you either rewrite it and take a new spin on it, or you just take it and like restructure the content, it will help you, and Google will recrawl it, and then you'll be golden, because it'll pick it back up in the search engines and hopefully get you back up in the rankings. Okay, and it will also help you be noticeable, right? Like, because the biggest thing is if your content starts falling off, it means people aren't reading it, means people aren't coming to your website, it means traffic is down, right? So if we come up with a content strategy where we're refreshing content every like 90 days, it doesn't have to be all of your content, obviously, because that's ridiculous. Like if you go back through and you cherry pick, and you kind of put it on a rotation schedule. What we do is we have like a list of all of our content and the metrics and stuff that I watch, and we watch and we see like the traffic visits and stuff like that in Google Analytics. The ones that are higher get ranked higher for refresh, and then we just go down the list. And so it's on a rotating cycle. So it's not like if we have 150 articles, we're not refreshing 150 articles every 90 days. We'll maybe do 10, and then like the next 30 days we'll do the next 10. And so it's kind of this content like refresh. And AI does help a lot with that. Like if you've been following along, you know this. I don't recommend having AI write from scratch and then having you copy and paste. That is bad news bears. Do not do that. But if you have an originally written article or piece of content or landing page or something like that, you can take that, put it into AI, a good AI tool, and have it rewrite your original content for you. So it's not pulling content from the web, it's taking stuff that you've already written that's already been ranked for, and then it's just restructuring and rewriting it. And we're actually going to do a content repurpose go live next week. So I highly suggest you tune in for that. It's going to be super cool. I'm going to show you how to rewrite, take all of your top performing like LinkedIn posts or whatever posts from whatever social channel. And then I'm going to show you how to use ChatGPT or whatever AI tool you're using to repurpose your original content, and in multiple ways. And it's basically, you're going to see how to create 100 pieces of content in like, I don't know, 10 minutes, maybe 25 minutes, something like that. So it's not very long. And it's a great way to also help your SEO, because you're taking the stuff that's performing really well with your audience and you're creating SEO friendly, extra and more SEO friendly content, which is super cool. So, all right, everybody, I'm going to recap quick. Excuse me. 4 top SEO tips. Okay, these are the basics. 4 that if you're doing anything for SEO, these are the 4 things you should absolutely 100% be doing, no matter what. Keywords. You need to do some keyword research, even if it's not a lot, but you need to know the keywords that are most popular for your industry that people are searching for. Okay, watch the comments. I'm going to drop in the go live about Answer the Public and a few other tools that will help you with that. Number 2, optimize your page structure. So whether it's a website, a landing page, a blog, whatever it is, optimize your page structure with the most important elements on the page. So your header tags, H1, H2, H3, your meta tags, which is the descriptions for the Google search engines or whatever search engine you come up on, and your URLs. Make sure they're simple, they're friendly, they're easy to read. No garbly book at the bottom. Number 3 is optimize your site for mobile devices. This is a huge one. If you are not mobile friendly, you will get ranked down because of it. If you are not creating a mobile friendly experience, you will get bumped down in the search results. User experience is huge. And if 60% of people are searching on a mobile device and your website doesn't work on a mobile device, it doesn't matter how good your content is, because the mixture of the two is going to rank you down. And the last but not least, number 4, always monitor and analyze your performance of your content, your website, your blog, wherever it may be. Watch what it's doing and then refresh that content every 60 to 90 days, and create like a content cycle or a content schedule so that you're always refreshing content, and then Google's search engine will hit that and it will recrawl it so it doesn't get stagnant. Okay, that is it. Thanks, guys. I hope that this was helpful, And please, again, like I said, watch the comments below. I'm going to drop those extra goodies in there for you. And that is all I have for today. So goodbye, live Facebook land, and we will see you next week. Pause. All right, everybody. Bye. See you next week.